It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. My girl Chella is here with me from Chicago.
That's right.
And we got Tina here.
Yo.
AKA Hood Celebrity. But
For Tina in real life?
Yeah, but Tina in real life now. In a real life. We were just talking about scents and smells and how important it is to like the scent of the person who you're with.
Yes.
You know, even when they're not around, you just smell like the bed, you smell their clothes, and you're like, I miss this person.
I'm big on smell. Like, I don't know if it's just, it's like I be waiting to smell things too. Like when somebody start, like, especially if we're in a relationship, you start talking, I'm
sniff.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'll be the first one to tell you, like, yo,
you need to go to the dentist.
Your breath smell a little bit. You know? It's a little bit of funk. Like I don't play. Some people really be with you and you smell and everybody else know but you.
Right.
Like, you know, they tell their friend, like, I smell a little bit crazy. And it's like, nah, I'm going to tell you.
You ever had somebody kiss you on the cheek and you could smell their breath from like the, and you'd be like, yeah, they need to go to the dentist.
Yo, he's a movie.
That happened to me once. I was like, all right now, let's handle that. But you also got to care about somebody enough to be able to tell them that.
That's true.
Right? Because if I don't care about you, you can go around stink. But if I care, like, I'm going to have to let you know.
That's true. You know what it is? I hate when you try to tell somebody, because some people do get embarrassed. And instead of them taking it as, all right, let me fix this, they get like a little attitude. Like, yo, you sure? Like, no, I'm sure. Like, I know what I smell.
Like, that's not me.
Like, you sure that's not me? Because I brushed my teeth this morning. It's like, we're not going to argue about that. Like,
you're like, but did you floss?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. Like, sis, you got BV.
Well, first of all, I'm so happy to see you up here because, you know, I'm such a fan.
Thank you.
So we call you Tina from now on? Like, what do you want us to call you?
Tina.
Okay,
Definitely,
Tina.
Going by Tina now. As people that probably don't know, Tina is my real name.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want my legacy to continue as Tina. You know, the growth, and I feel like even Hood Celebrity, the little girl I used to work in the clothing store on Fordham Road.
Yep.
And everybody in the hood knows me. But behind Hood Celebrity was always that superstar, Tina.
Right.
Like, you know, when you think of Hood Celebrity, like if I tell you, like, what's your name? I'll be like, Hood Celebrity. The first thing you're going to think of is like, okay, she's from the hood. And she's a celebrity.
The hood.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, I feel like people try to put me in a box for so long. So it's like now I'm just going by Tina, and you know, Tina's about to take over the world and just open up new doors.
Well, Hood Celebrity was also an organic name for you. It wasn't like you sat around and thought, like, what should I call myself?
No. Everybody in the hood knows me. My manager was like, yo, you really a Hood Celebrity. And I put the name on social media, so it wasn't like something I thought about.
When did you move to the Bronx?
I moved to the Bronx when I was 12.
Okay. So when you were 12.
Yeah.
So what was it like for you coming from Jamaica at the age of 12 and coming to the Bronx, like, and becoming this Hood Celebrity? Because I have to imagine that your personality was big enough that the kids, because that's not an easy age to move.
No. I mean, it was definitely different. I feel more like weather change. You know, in Jamaica's 90-something, 100 degrees.
100.
Yeah, I came to America. I actually came here in the wintertime.
Wow.
So that was different for me. As soon as I came off the plane, it was actually snowing.
Did you have the proper clothes on, or?
Well, they gave me a jacket.
Okay.
I had a little jacket. It was something, but you know, 2 gloves, 2 socks, because I'm anemic, so I get extremely cold.
Right.
Fast. So that was different. Definitely, you know, school. In Jamaica, you get your ass whooped if you talk to teachers and you go crazy.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I was in class with these people was cursing at the teachers, like, yo, shut the F up. Like, yo, what you talking about? Like, you crazy, throwing shit. I'm like, oh, this is different.
Right.
Like, in Jamaica, I can't even talk back to the teacher. I get my ass whooped. So that was different for me, too. Definitely how we talk down there, you know, is patois. Here is proper English. So for me, thank God, nobody make fun of me. I used to get paid to talk.
Okay.
Like, my friends would be like, oh, my God, say that again. Like, what you just
They
said?
loved it.
Yeah, they love it. And, you know, dollar back then was everything. So it was different.
Yeah, that's good because it could go either way. And I think, part of it is personality-wise. You probably came here with a big personality. They were like, oh, she's cute and everything.
Yeah, I feel like you can't, for me, I think you can't bully Jamaicans, especially kids. Like, I was rude. I was mean. I was bad.
Yeah.
So you couldn't, like, bully me. Like, people would be like, oh, I got bullied. Like,
and there's a lot of Jamaicans in New York, too.
Yeah, I feel like you can't bully Jamaican kids, though.
Okay. They're going to bully you even worse.
Yeah.
They know what to do.
Yeah.
And then when did you realize that? Because I know when you worked in a clothing store, you used to make videos and they would go, you know, and you were good at that. But when did you say, okay, this is an actual thing?
So I never forget, I was at work one day. It was slow. We didn't have no customers. And I told my best friend, I was like, yo, record this freestyle. And he recorded me. And at the time, Cardi posted it on her page. And I went from like, I think like probably like 2K followers to like almost 20K.
Sheesh.
And she called me like, yo, you need to take this serious. Like, you really got to do this. Like, I'm like, take what serious? Like, for me, it was just fun when I'm bored at work. And she's like, nah, you got to take this serious. Like, look, like, I post mad people and they never really get that much attention. Like, you know, like, she was like, this is like big. Like, people actually rock with it. Because, you know, Instagram, people say mean things.
Right.
So she's like, yo, the fact that all these comments are good, she was like, go read the comments. And I feel like I was, you know, a little bit like forced into like, all right, I got to go to the studio. Because I wasn't thinking studio at that time.
So you guys were already friends, or did she? Okay.
We was friends for years.
Right. Wow,
Like,
that's
years before we started music.
That's really dope. And I think the organic way that you could see somebody who's talented, who you're friends with, post them and support them in that way.
True.
And then, you know, get your career jumped off from there.
Yep.
And then you ended up getting signed to Epic Records. And I know we've never talked about how that even happened.
So it's crazy. Again, I feel like, so for people who don't know, I went to school for music. I went to high school for violin and dance. I used to play the violin too. When I was doing music, it was really for fun.
Right.
So even with the whole walking trophy and everything coming out, like, I was on the radio while I was still at work. I was still working, you know what I mean? So I didn't have no clue that I was even gonna get signed. I didn't understand what it is to get signed. So I remember Shaf, he hit me up and he was like, yo, he's like, quit your job. And I was like, quit my job.
I would love to.
I was like, no, at the time, hell no, I wasn't thinking I would love to, because, you know, I'm the only one that was helping my mom with the rent.
Right.
Like, that's what was making ends meet. And, you know, I came to America. I'm a DACA kid, so I came to America with no papers. So I was working that job at the time, I was working that job for 9 years. That's the only job that hired me without a social security, without an ID, nothing. You feel me? So when he said quit my job, I was like, I can't quit my job. Like, I got to talk to my mom. And I spoke to my mom and she was like, no, don't quit your job.
Right.
He was like, no. I'm telling you to quit your job because the labels want to sign you. He was like, you have a meeting tomorrow.
You were like, first let's get signed, then I'll quit.
Yeah,
Let's
but
get
I
them-
still didn't
let's
even
get the check.
understand. I still didn't even understand, like, getting signed, like, you know, what was going to really happen. I'm like, to me, it's like, this is a steady paycheck and this is what I get. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when he took me to the meeting and he was like, the first meeting I did, he was like, they want to sign you. He was like, get your lawyers and stuff.
You were like, lawyers? I don't have no
I was
lawyers.
like, I started getting nervous. I was like, shit's getting a little real now, you know? But it was different, but it was definitely a life-changing situation. Like, that changed my whole life. Like, I went from never having my own room at all, ever in my life, to, you know, having an apartment.
Right.
So that was everything for me. Like,
And when you say you were a DACA kid, we talk about the Dreamers and we talk about everything that's been going on when it comes to, you know, immigration. So is that something that you follow closely? Because we all know.
yeah.
Some people actually don't know, but it is really difficult when you've been here. You've been here since you were 12 years old. This is kind of what you know, right?
And
But
I didn't know nothing about my situation until I was like, maybe like 16 going on 17. When I was trying to, like, you know, we had school trips. Some of them was going away trips. And my mom was like, you can't go. And, you know, I tried to travel with my friends. Everybody talk, you know, going away. And she was like, yeah, you can't do that.
right.
And that's when it's like, oh, shoot, like, this is different, you know? But I talk about that a lot. Before, I used to be embarrassed to talk about it, I'm going to be honest, because more like embarrassed and scared at the same time, because my family used to always be like, don't tell nobody your business, because, you know, they could get you deported.
Yeah.
So, you know, so it wasn't something I used to talk about before, but I'm big on that situation.
Yeah,
And
I think
even
that's important.
Talking about it, it gets me emotional because I know what I've been through. Like, you know, I got my brother that was deported in Jamaica, like, you know. So.
Yeah, because some people feel like they think if you weren't born here, you don't deserve to be here. And they don't understand, like, look at how hard you work and everything you've been able to accomplish. And you definitely,
Thank you.
you know, deserve to be here. And so,
Thank you.
and it's not easy also just to have to worry about things like that. Like, I remember going to a meeting where we actually had somebody there and she was talking about how she couldn't get her license and, you know, having to walk to get to where she had to get to and how hard it is when that's something that's weighing on you. But you're like, I've been here and I grew up here and this is home. I'm sorry, I didn't even mean to do that, but I just do know that it's important for everybody.
Well, you're doing your thing, so that's a blessing. That's a good thing.
Right, and taking care of your family.
Yeah, and I'm sure everybody at home is like super turned. So that's great.
Yeah, let's give her a minute. But, you know, one thing I will say about Tina, okay, AKA, I got to keep on saying her celebrity for people who haven't adjusted to Tina
cool.
yet.
That's cool.
But the music, undeniable. Not just
Thank
the
you.
music, but also the performances.
Thank you.
And I think
love performing.
yeah, one of the things, and it shows. So that's important, because one thing I will say about artists, the performance is so important. It can make or break. Like, there's been people that I like, and then I see them perform, and I'm like, I'd rather just listen to the music and not go to the show. But for you, I could watch your Instagram,
Thank
you know, watch you perform in real life. And
I really love performing. Like, I feel like, you know, everybody's different. It's like you have artists that's performing, and then you got in the studio artists. But I really love performing. It don't matter if it's one person in the room, two person in the room. Like, I like entertaining.
right.
Like, that's really what I do. Like, even in my house, I'm an entertainer. Like, still myself, like, you know, put the music to the side, but I'm funny, make people laugh.
And very honest. I saw you were saying people thought you got your ass done, and you're like, no, I just been eating.
Just been
Just
poking.
doing them squats.
Yep. I work out.
Yeah, yes, it shows.
No, I be working out. Definitely be heavy on the squats.
Okay.
And I lift heavy weights too. Like, if I'm having a video shoot or like something I got coming up, a photo shoot, I go super hard in the gym.
And listen, I'd be looking at her videos. I'd be like, let me put this sandwich down.
Okay.
Gotta
Yo,
get
but don't
together.
get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I be eating stuff too.
Okay,
Like, because
yeah.
people really think, like, you know, I don't probably eat nothing unhealthy. I be capping if I say I don't.
Right.
Because I eat sandwich. I eat the pizza once in a while. Like, I be eating. Like, I had a Jamaican mother. She be cooking oxtail, rice and peas.
Yeah, that rice and peas.
8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. So,
And you're like, I am not going to pass that up.
yeah, I be eating.
What does your mom think about all of your success?
You really want to know? Mm-hmm. So, my mom is a Christian. She goes to church. So, she's not into the boom pan and all that stuff. Like, at first, my mom, I feel like she was embarrassed. Because, you know, she looked at me like, you came from Jamaica and this is what you want to be. Like, she wanted me to be a lawyer, a doctor, a nurse. Like, you know, Caribbean parents.
Yes, you know, my
So when
mom's Caribbean, so
Yeah,
I know.
so you know what's up. So when I told her I wanted to be an artist, she looked at me like I was being low life.
Right.
Like, I can't believe, like, she called my family. One thing about Jamaican parents, they're going to call everybody back home.
And everyone's going to know your
she's
business.
like, I can't believe. So look, a girl come out firing for waste our time. Look, a girl at low life. Like, my mom thought really like I was on some Illuminati. Like, you know,
Right.
she think this whole Illuminati stuff. Like, when
She
I told her I
believe
wanted
it.
to be an artist, she's like, this are the Illuminati stuff, them avio.
But that
I'm
has
like-
to hurt too, not to have that support where, you know, but you
At
expected
first,
it to.
I'm going to be honest with you, to be real with you, at first, it did, but it kind of like, I'm the type of person, like, if I feel like you don't support me, I'm going to go harder.
Right.
And I'm going to make you believe. So I feel like it pushed me also to go harder, because I feel like my mom, before I used to get mad at her, but now that I'm, you know, maturing, I feel like I get to understand that she really don't understand.
Right.
You know, like, telling that to her, she never seen none of this stuff before.
And there's a lot of misconceptions that come with it too. Like
Yeah.
with the evils of being in this music business.
Correct. And thinking that I'm just probably going to be doing a whole lot of stuff out here. But now that she see what I'm doing and, you know, what I'm getting done, I bought a house. Thank God, 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
put
that's
my
always
mom-
something to celebrate during the
Congratulations.
pandemic.
I bought a
buying
house and I moved her
house.
with me. I moved my little
Right.
sister with me, moved my baby brother with me. And I feel like she see what I'm really out here doing, you know?
Right.
So
And you're a good person.
thank you. Thank you.
You know, I think other artists also respect you a lot.
Thank you.
And work with you. And you've worked with some legends. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that for a second. Bounty Killer.
Yeah, Bounty Killer it's crazy. Growing up, I used to be so scared of Bounty Killer.
He got that voice too.
That voice, everything. Like, I thought like he was just a killer. He was this
Right.
this person that was always serious. He's so like one of the most sweetest person I've ever like spoken to. Mm-hmm. He gave me so much advice, and even for the record, I'm back. When I hit him up, I was scared, like, because again, he's a legend. These are people I look up to.
Right.
So I don't like to get like, you know, I don't like to be rejected. Like,
And you don't want to ask for things either.
Correct.
Like,
Correct. And then I'm a type of person too as well. Like, when I build relationships, I don't like people to feel like I'm using them, because a lot of people do that. They just hit you up when they need something and then that's it. So I was scared. There's a lot of things I was like, you know, really thinking about.
And you got to think it's good for him too, though, because you are who
yeah,
you are
and it's
too.
funny because when I reached out to him, I was like, yo, I was sending him like the screenshots of the fans them telling me like, yo, you should put him on the record. And I was like, yo, would you hop on the record? And he was like, let me listen to it. He said, send it to me. And he wrote me back like, you killed it. Like, this is so dope. He was like, I'm doing my verse tonight. He did his verse. He sent it to me. What I really think was so genuine about him is I told him, I was like, yo, whatever money you need, let me know. I'll send it down to Jamaica so you could do your part of the video. He was like, no. He's like, I'm not taking no money from you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was like, I'm
That's
not taking
real.
no money. And that was different to me because I was like, what? He's like, no, I'm not taking your money. He's like, this is our record. So I think that's like, having
That is
people
amazing.
that I
That's
grew up
what's up.
on. Like, I listened to Bounty Killer in my house and,
Legendary.
the respect for him and for him to show that same respect for me was dope.
I saw that you also had been in conversation with Vibes Cartel.
Yeah. He sent me a record that I did a verse for him. So I'm waiting for that to probably to come out.
Oh, that's dope.
Big shout out to Shaggy. Shaggy, I've been, speaking with him.
I just hit Shaggy the other day. He had did a
Shaggy's
music
super cool.
conference in Jamaica.
Super cool.
But I
Super
was
cool.
asking him about somebody I know who's going out there. His conversations be so funny. I saw him here at Miss Lily's.
Yeah.
Doing
Miss Lily, that's that Jamaican restaurant, right?
Yeah, in the city.
Yeah.
He was out there. They have like parties there every week. So I
Okay.
saw him there. I was like, this is random. Look at Shaggy.
Yeah, Shaggy's super dope.
Yeah.
I feel like it's dope when you actually look up to these people. Like, growing up, I look up to them and then meeting them in real life.
And they are
And
who,
they're so dope. Like, I think that's good.
Yeah. And I think even for you, just like the way that you even got started, because it's not easy. Like people always feel like to make it, you had a big record really like that was international first.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's always like a lot of work to get to that point, right? Where your song will actually be a hit. Because even here, they don't play a lot of dancehall like on mainstream radio like
That's
that,
true.
which
Yeah.
I wish they would, right?
Yeah.
Because, I'm from Brooklyn, so we hear it
Of
all
course.
day, every day. But they don't play it like that on the radio. But you got on really pretty early with a hit.
Yeah, it's funny because some people probably don't know that I was even working like doing music before that too. So before Walking Trophy, I had records like Cut Them Off that
Yep.
Funk Flex was playing, Camelo. I had so record called Why You Are Gone. So of course it wasn't as
Your
big
songs
as
were
Walking
hard,
Trophy.
too.
Yeah, and I dropped 2 mixtapes. I had 2 mixtapes out at the time. So for people that don't understand, I was really working and just for me when I make music, I put my all into every record I do. So even when I dropped Walking Trophy and they was putting that pressure on me, like, when you gonna make another one and another one? Like, for me, it was really like, at
I've been
first
doing
that
this.
pressure was getting to me because it was. I'm not gonna cap. At first it was, but then I just started telling myself like, when I was making Walking Trophy, I didn't sit down and say, let me make this type of record. I just really sat down and said, let me make good music. You know what I mean? And that's what I do, and that's what I will continue to do.
Now let's talk about this song Signs that you have out, because I actually really enjoyed that song. I was when Mano was in here listening to it, and I told him he should have been in that video because he's that type of guy that you would be talking about in a song like Signs.
Yeah,
so let's
right.
talk about some of the signs when you know somebody is doing you dirty, right? Because one of them is their phone is upside down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know that's definitely a
Right
sign.
there.
Yeah. And see, look, my
Me
phone be
too.
right. My
Mhm.
phone be
I'm always upside
my
down.
phone be right side
You
up.
cheating?
No,
Look, she
Never.
ain't gonna
That
admit it.
nod didn't sound
Never.
confident.
never.
Never? Okay, that's
Cheaters
good.
ain't gonna say, yeah, I be
I'm
cheating.
not a cheater at all.
Look at her.
No,
She's
just
smart. She
saying.
ain't gonna snitch on herself. That's
not
a
at
good
all.
thing.
What are some other signs when you know somebody is not doing you right? Like some things that you've seen.
I feel like that phone is the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
After that phone is the going right in the shower.
Okay. Ooh, come home. Like,
Like,
one second,
yeah.
let me take a shower first.
Yeah.
I do
another
that, though.
another one is not picking up that phone call.
Okay.
Like if I'm with you and I really care about you, I'm picking up.
Right. No matter what.
Even
like,
if I gotta tell
I'm in a
you
meeting, like, hold
Right.
on.
Yeah, even if I gotta send you a little text real quick, like I'm gonna, I'm right now with
You'd be like,
Angela Yee.
I'm on the radio, but
Yeah,
give me 1
I'm
second.
gonna hit you back, like, or people be saying like, oh, everybody's busy, but that's really not true.
Right.
Everybody's busy, but we all find time for what we want to find time for.
For sure.
That's true. And when things change, like if in the beginning you was really going hard, but then all of a sudden,
You ain't answering.
You just start
that
slowing
phone.
down.
Right.
Or I hate when the text messages become dry, like the
What you
WYD.
doing?
yeah.
Right.
See, the
You see, she knows.
WYD is
I
not.
do.
She knows. She a pro. It's not being spelled out. Like that's
the
when
whole
I
thing.
start. Yeah, spell the whole thing. That's when I'm starting to lose interest a little bit.
When you don't get those good morning text messages anymore,
it's a wrap.
you know
It's
how
a
they
wrap.
used to every morning they
Yeah.
wake up and text you, and then all of a
Yeah, it's a
sudden you
wrap.
like, damn, it's 3 o'clock.
Or when you're not getting the same energy too, like with
Right.
gifts and shit. Like when people
Exactly.
like you and they start talking to you, everybody start off with gifts.
Right.
Gifts matter.
Yeah.
Gifts we was just talking about that. Gifts
Gifts
matter.
matter.
They
'Cause
always say you
once-
can't start off too high with the gifts either. You gotta.
And I hate when they start hitting you with it's the thought that count.
You didn't think. I hate
Yeah,
that.
the thought that counts is like
It wasn't no thought.
Yeah, it wasn't no thought into this. Like, this don't, you know?
But what about you? Have you ever been the person that's been the one that they got to look out for your signs? Like, have you ever cheated?
Of course.
Oh, she said that with no hesitation.
No, I'm not trying to, and it's not even to be cool about it. I'm being honest. Like, I used to always cheat. I used to always cheat.
Why do you think that is?
Because honestly, like, I used to always look at a relationship like, I'ma hurt you before you hurt me.
Okay.
Like, my aunt got murdered on my mom's birthday. She got murdered at 15.
Wow.
And the guy that murdered her, he told her, like, if I can't have you, nobody else can have you.
Damn.
So I was always scared of falling in love. And, you know, I don't want to get nobody that's obsessed with me. So I used to just always do crazy stuff in relationships.
Just to
like,
kind of keep that block up.
Correct. Like, I'm a do you like this before you do it to me. Like, you know what I mean? But, so, yeah, I could say, like, I used to always cheat.
Right.
And I don't give no signs. I tell you.
You tell, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like 3 o'clock. Like, 3 o'clock, I'm going to go do me.
Damn.
Toxic.
Yeah, no reason.
Not regular, though. Like, if it's an argument, like, if we arguing and stuff like that,
That shit hurts
I'll
more
let you
than-
know, like, yo, today is going down. Like,
Today is going down.
Like, today's your day.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, at least you keep
But
it
I'm
in
not like
100.
that no more. But that's what I was really.
So
I
now
was
you're
really on
Tina.
that.
Now this is a
Yeah,
soft
now
girl Tina.
I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to cheat on nobody. Like, let's just be grown and
Tell
just
each
be
other the
honest with me.
truth.
What brought
me
about
know.
this growth and maturity? Like, did anything happen, or like, what made
Yeah.
you go from hood celebrity to Tina, from toxic cheating hood celebrity to?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like people don't grow unless it's a life or death situation. So you could tell me this whole time, even if, let's say you my friend and you like, yo, you know, you gotta change. I can tell somebody you gotta change this. You gotta stop doing this. If not, this is gonna happen. But when I went to Toronto, and it was my first time out there, and I had, you know, me and my DJ was outside, and he rolled me up a whole L for myself. I went to this place where they, you know, they have like grow the weed and stuff, and the promoters, they gave us weed and edibles, and I smoked the L by myself, smoking, and I took like half of the brownie, and I ended up in the hospital.
Wow.
When I told you, I thought I was going crazy. Like, I was seeing everybody like triple. Like, it was the most craziest thing ever that ever happened to me in my life.
Wow, damn.
Like, the room was spinning.
That is scary.
And, you know, I'm so small, so I never smoked the OL by myself, and they had just legalized weed out there.
Oh, damn. So
I
it was really
I was
strong.
showing off. Yeah, I was showing off. And I was in and out the hospital out there. Shav took me back to New York. We came back to New York. I performed that same night. Didn't remember nothing. Like, after I left the hospital, Shav took me to my room, went to sleep. They came back, picked me back up. I performed. We came back to New York, and then I was in the hospital again
Wow.
because it didn't leave my system.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And
Wow.
that right there, I was canceling shows. I dropped down to like 103 pounds. I don't know, probably y'all was seeing me like losing weight. And probably, you know, people, that's why I always tell people, like, you don't never make
never know
fun of people because you never know what somebody's going through.
Right.
So I went down to, I went from 100 and probably like 25 pounds. I was already small.
Right.
To 103 pounds.
Sheesh.
I was canceling my shows. I didn't want to do nothing. Like, I didn't want to be outside. But what that situation taught me was that I have anxiety. And, you know, when I was little and something bad happened, I would want to use the bathroom.
Right.
Like, or my stomach would start hurting and stuff like that. But, you know, growing up in a Jamaican household, I didn't know about anxiety until that situation happened, and I feel like it triggered my anxiety.
Wow.
So I went through so much, and that was a life-changing situation for me. So I went right from that to as I was getting better. Like, I tell people all the time, like, you could say you don't believe in God, but when stuff happened, when shit started getting real, I was on my knees.
Right.
And I believe in God, but I feel like I wasn't giving him that much attention.
Right.
Because, you know, I got signed, I got so caught up. I'm busy. Like, everything I prayed for, I start forgetting. I have the Range Rover, I'm getting the jewelry, I have everything. So I feel like that situation put me to sit down.
Wow. And when they say things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
And my mom always said that. You know, my mom was very scared. She started praying, like, you know, started praying for me, took me to the church and stuff like that. But even that, like, it was none of that. It was really just me having to sit down and really get my shit together. Because there's so much stuff. Like, even just now, you see, we hit that topic and I break down.
Right.
I'm a type of person, like, I don't really express my feelings a lot. I hide everything. Or I just shove it under the rug. I deal with it later. You know what I mean? So when that happened to me, that was a life-changing situation.
Okay.
That put me to really sit down with myself, get my shit together, you know. And then after that, we went right into COVID. So it was like a double dose for me. I was like, damn, I just started getting better. I get to be outside now and, go back to start making my money. And then COVID hit. So I was like, all right, God, I don't know what's going on here, but we need to get shit together.
Okay.
And I feel like that was what it is for me. And it made me find myself a lot. Sometimes you feel like it's a storm and you think everything is going bad because it's supposed to go bad, but
it's just
everything
clearing
is
the
going
way.
bad. There you go.
I
It's
agree
the
with
best
that.
I feel like I've ever been, honestly, in my life.
That's great. I was
Yeah.
telling Chella that the other day. I was like, sometimes everything go wrong just because something great is about to happen.
Right.
And it's hard to see it. Like you really don't see it until.
Nah, you don't see it. I was looking at it like, yo, God was like, this is like, sometimes so much stuff going bad, you still looking at, this is a curse. Like, yo, what's going on with me? And it's really like, yo, you don't even understand what's on the other side.
Right.
Right.
And
Well, I'm so happy that everything
Thank you.
turned out the way that it did, and that you were able to look back now in retrospect and be like, well, that's why
Right, to
this
tell your
happened, and I
story.
went through this so
And
I
I
could
tell
get to
people,
here.
like, don't ever, like, do nothing just because you want to fit in or, like, peer pressure, because sometimes people do that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a person that you never do an edible, and that's not what you do, and you're around all your friends and this is what they do, it's okay to say that's not what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the type of time I'm on. Like, I don't knock nobody for what they do, but if this is not what I do,
And
I'm
don't
not
pressure,
trying it.
And don't pressure people to do stuff either.
Yeah,
like, sometimes people are like, no, come on, take the edible. No, take it. Oh, you a punk. And the next thing you know, you don't know what could happen to that person.
Yeah.
And
So I
them
didn't-
edibles is something else.
I know, we were just
Yo,
talking
they
about that
said conversation
yesterday.
yesterday.
Yep.
Yo, before, I
Man.
never used to be able to talk about it. Like, if you say edible, I start going to, like, I'm in, like, panic mode. Like, I don't know, probably, like, people that have anxiety, probably understand stuff like this, but it's like a trigger. Before, it used to trigger me so much that that's why I said I'm happy I had to sit down and really heal.
How did you heal? Did you talk to somebody? Did you get a therapist?
Well, I have a cousin that she's a therapist.
Okay.
And-
Amazing.
Yeah. And she used to come to my house before I was living in the Avalon in Long Island City. And she used to come to my house every day. And I appreciate her to this day. She used to come to my house every day and she used to walk me through the park. It was the worst situation I ever went through in my life.
Thank God for the support that you had, though.
Yeah, she used to walk me through the park. She used to talk to me. She used to tell me, like, yo, just tell me everything. Like, just say anything how you feel. Like, just say anything. Because, again, I didn't grow up like that. I wasn't raised that way. I was raised to do not tell your business. Like, my mom used to tell me, like, don't tell your business to anybody.
Yeah.
So-
Don't tell the family business.
Yeah,
That's
don't tell
all-
don't tell the family. Like, even when I made my song Daughters Cry, my mom got mad.
Yeah.
She called me like, yo, you got to pull that down off YouTube. Like, you tell everybody's in my business now. They know this, that. I'm like, Mom, like, that's my record. Like,
It's
that's
my
how
story.
that's my story. That's how I help
And
myself.
that's how people could also relate to you,
and
too.
that song helped a lot of people.
Right, I
you
bet.
know? Yeah. So my cousin, she was definitely a big help in my situation. Also I started meditating a lot. I started doing that. Stop picking up the phone to everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I pick and choose who I want to talk
Stop
to.
saying yes
Choose
to
your
everything
access.
and
Yup.
everyone.
Who got access to you?
Correct. Because sometimes you get on the phone and these things is real. Energy is real, right? So if I come in here with a nasty energy, y'all in here, y'all chilling, and I just come with a nasty energy, now I just change the vibe.
Right,
So I used to just pick up my phone to everybody, and I thought I could save everybody.
right.
Like, I was the go-to, whether it's to my friends, family. Like, yo, Tina, what you think about this? And by the time I'm doing that, I didn't understand how much I'm draining myself. So when I went through my situation, I couldn't help myself because I was so busy helping everybody else.
You got to put yourself first
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, I'm big on that right now.
Yeah, and that's a hard thing for us to do, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
I'm big
You
on
feel
that right now.
selfish. You feel like
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm like the go-to person.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just gotta just like cut all that off because it could just be
Yeah.
energy draining.
Yeah. And sometimes the go-to person don't got nobody to go to.
yeah.
Yeah.
You so much of the go-to person that when stuff hit the fan for you, you don't got nobody to go to.
How has all of this affected your music?
I say, like, when I was going through stuff like that, I wasn't writing for a while. So I wasn't writing for probably, like, no lie, like, 3 months. I had, like, 2 lawsuits because I had, like, sold out shows that I never showed up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that definitely affected my music. But then when I started healing more, it started helping me to write because I started going by the water. I started going to the beach and I started writing. So when you hear records like Ungrateful and stuff like that, that's a record that came from, pain and the stuff I was going through. Because when I started healing, I started saying no a lot. And then people started getting crazy. Like,
Right.
damn, she never said no. Like, what's this? This is like the new you.
And it's also like people are so used to you saying yes the one time you say no.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I had a lot of those
People be so mad. And
Yeah,
you're like,
for
I done
sure.
did a million things for
Facts.
you.
Yeah,
Now that
they
I
don't
ca-
care.
Yeah.
That's
don't
how
care.
you can see how people really are. The first time you say no, people just start cutting
I
up.
done did 1,000
show
things
their
for
ass.
you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you know the vibes.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Thank you.
And so
Yeah.
talk about the experience of working with Shatta Wale, because that's big too.
Yeah, no, that was dope. Big shout out to Shatta Wale. So Shaf put that situation together. So when I did, you know the vibe, good energy, getting back in my vibe, my energy. That was a record that for me is like a happy record. Like I hate to make music when I'm sad. Not saying I'm not supposed to, but I like making music when I'm in good energy because that's what I want to put out. You know what I mean? So that was a good energy vibe I was in. Shaf loved that record, and that's a record that he's like, it needs a feature. And for me, I'm like, nah, I just want to, you know, artists just want to drop their music. I'm like, I just want to drop it right now. He's like, no. Then he called me up. He's like, yo, guess who? I'm in the studio. But he put me on the FaceTime. And he's like, I'm with Shatta Wale. And I started, when I tell you I freaked out, I freaked
that's
out.
huge.
Because that's one thing about me. I'm not scared to show if I'm a fan of another artist. Like, I started freaking out like, oh, dope. But I didn't know what he was doing at the time. So he's like, yo, he's about to jump on the record right now. And I was like, what record? He's like, do you know the Vibe record?
Wow.
And I went nuts. He was like, anyway, I'll call you back.
He's like, I'll call you. You're
And he
like,
hanged
no,
up.
no. And you was
left me in
probably-
that mode. I'm like, damn,
you
is it
probably
gonna
couldn't
happen?
sleep.
Yeah. But it was big for me because Shatta Wale is somebody that I love his music and I look up to him, and especially what he's doing for dancehall music in Africa. You know what I
Right.
mean? So definitely a dope vibe. And his fandom was already harassing me.
Yeah. No,
Like,
them
we need a
fans,
record.
listen, is
They
he
don't
from
play.
Ghana?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Them fans is the
Yeah,
ones
they
who
don't
really
play.
start stuff. But they be knowing because
Yeah.
when I dropped my I'm Back record, when I dropped the I'm Back the original one,
Oh, okay.
they was harassing me like, you need to put Bounty Killer on this record,
And then they was harassing Bounty Killer.
and they was harassing him. So with the Shatta Wale, the You Know the Vibes record, it's so good how everything lined up. Again, energy. Because his fans was already harassing me because I'm always on his page showing love and stuff. So they would comment under my comment like, yeah, I got to do something together. So I was like, yo, that's crazy. They don't even know we got a record coming.
Well, that's dope.
Yeah.
And then we also had a chance to get, and we actually had something special for everybody to be able to hear.
Oh, dope.
All right. So we got a little snippet, a little taste of this Michael Jackson record. Now, why is this called Michael Jackson?
Because in the end, I got a Michael Jackson dance to it.
Oh.
In the end part of it, I got a Michael Jackson dance. So I was like, I told Shaf, I was like, I got to call it Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I got to see this. Now, I always felt like you should do some type of like, dance tutorial because your dancing is so amazing
Thank
to
you.
me. Like I'll be watching and you have some great challenges too, like where everybody want to put the music on and do the dances
Yeah.
and everything.
Thank you.
I always watch them and I love when you
love
repost
dancing.
people.
I feel like dancing for me is like therapy. No lie. Like between dancing and music, because dancing was my first love. So like I said, I used to go to school for dancing and music.
Yep.
So dancing, like, that's really my thing. Like even when I'm in my crib, even when I don't get to record it and post it for them, for like, the fans and stuff, I really be in the house dancing.
Like, do you feel like have you done choreography for other people or anything like that?
Nah.
Because I feel like that's a second business for you. No, like you see how Tiana
You got me
Taylor.
thinking about that, yeah.
I'm not even playing because you see with Tiana Taylor, like, because a lot of artists, I was telling you before, you watch their shows and you like, I like this artist, but they could
Yeah.
use some. I feel like the way that you work, I could see you putting together some stuff and helping other people in that way too, just because you're so good at it.
You got me thinking. That's definitely something to think about.
And listen, I love to think about other ways to make
I
some
like
money
that.
too,
No,
and
of
other
course.
streams
That's
of
a-
income.
that's a-
but
that's
it's
a
also
vibe.
something you love.
Yeah, I really love it. Like, I really love dancing. Like, people would think like, all right, that's why I have the hashtag like, here she go dancing again, because I'm really on the camera dancing, off the camera. Like, if you my friend, you come in my truck, blast my music, I'll stop on the freaking highway or I'll pull over and stop just to dance.
All right, don't stop on the highway now, cause
No,
modes
I'm
in
dead serious. Like, I done pulled over and make videos, and then it's really like, they'll be like, I'm gonna record you. And I'm like, all right, go ahead. But if a song is lit,
We need to get Shaft
I'm
on the
crazy
line
like
because I
that.
feel like this
Yeah.
also could be like I could see some type of app with some workout dance videos and people could subscribe because I think so many people would do that. Because
yo, you got me thinking about so much other different stuff right now that I really never sit down and thought about, because I do them for free.
Right. You
Like, I
definitely
literally
should be
do
making
it,
money
yeah.
from that. Because the main thing to me is like when I look at, because I have such an entrepreneur mind, but I look at what other people have going on, and I feel like for you, as talented as you are as an artist, but
Yeah.
just what you do, even as far as dancing, and also because you love it.
Yeah,
Right. And
I
there's
do.
nothing better than figuring out ways to make money off of doing something that you love.
Right.
And it,
That's
so
true.
That's all. Just putting it out there.
Okay. And we were just watching a video of you winding before you came in. So we was like,
love
let's
your
get us
accent.
a
Look, she's from
wind.
Chicago.
I'm from
so
Chicago.
I love your
Go
accent.
ahead, do it again, Chella.
I'm like, come on, let's get us a winding lesson. Because I ain't quite get it, but I'm like, okay, maybe she can like show us how to.
Because you know in Chicago, they
It's
step.
easy though. Like, let me show you. Let's show you a little move real quick.
She gonna
So,
do it
Come
for
on,
real.
Angie.
You're gonna have you first. You're gonna stand where you could balance, right? That's
Right,
always
here
your
we go,
vibe.
here we go.
And then you boom.
Wait.
So you
Do
twist
that
this
again.
You
hip
guys just move your
like
hip.
this, then twist this one like this, and now you're in a groove now. It's basically like you're working
Yeah.
out.
Wait, it's like, wait, let me watch it.
So you this.
You got it,
You're
Chella. You
making me
got it.
laugh.
Chella,
There you go. Boom. Swing this one over here. So it's basically like you're going like this.
Dan, are you doing it too?
There you go.
But
Now
it's
you
like
put your hand
you-
like this. Now you got
it's
all
like-
your self. Look, no, all your on.
You doing good,
Boom.
Chella.
There you go. Now you start swinging now.
Bump on it, Chella.
Yeah. Go on, Chella. Yeah. Go there, Chella.
Girl, don't keep me
You
up.
see,
I'm
you
gonna be
gonna
at the
once you
club
get
tonight
comfortable-
winding, baby. Come on, I got it.
Chella, now
Once
show
you
her
get
how to
comfortable,
step. Show her how to
you in
step
the
like
gr-
you
you
from
in the
Chicago.
vibe.
I'm from Chicago, so
Oh, so
we
you
step.
gotta teach me that because I
But
I
it
never
ain't
did
like
that before.
winding. Stepping ain't like
At all.
winding. We outside. I'm ready to wind. Come on, I'm going to the Jamaican club, bring me some oxtail, and I'm winding
That's it.
tonight.
And you can get the TikTok too. The TikTok gonna be easy. You be doing like this with your body.
See you? No, that
No,
ain't
no,
as
no,
easy
come
as you
on.
explaining
So
it now.
you go boom boom. So it's like you go There you go. So now you go like this now.
We
There
gonna
you
practice.
go.
Oh, you
There
doing
you go.
it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
outside.
G. All right, G.
That's your
I
start.
get
That's
it.
gonna be
I
your
get
starter kit for the night.
It's going down tonight.
Now, see, now
Tomorrow.
that's what I'm saying with the choreography. This
Yes.
is not a game. Let's set this up, y'all. Hit her up. We
Yes.
starting this bit. It's the Tina
The wine
It's a business.
choreography.
You gotta
Tina
It's a
Wines.
But listen, so is there a full project coming? Tell us about if you have those details yet. If not,
Yeah,
you'll-
I don't have the whole details. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I definitely know that the album is definitely dropping. Like I know I kept saying it, drop my album. Definitely dropping in September.
Okay, I heard
For
somebody.
sure, for
okay,
sure.
she whispering September.
September, I promise y'all.
You promise?
I promise.
Okay.
I'm going
We're
to
gonna
make
pull this
sure
back up in
because
September.
it's done. It's done.
Oh, it's done.
Yeah, but again, like the vibe I was in, it would have never been good if I would have dropped it before.
Okay. All right. Are you gonna change some things since you have until September, or you feel like it's all right? It's
completely
completed.
done.
Oh well. Oh, you said what? All right. So we're having a listening event in August.
Okay. See, that was a surprise.
We didn't
All
know
right,
that.
girl,
So
don't be
she
trying
didn't
to
even know
keep
what's
that
going
for
on.
me.
Yeah. She gotta know
September is
what-
perfect.
I didn't know
gotta
that.
make
I
sure
swear.
she's there.
I didn't know about the listening thing.
But-
They did the same thing on my birthday too, though.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
your birthday was in July, right?
Yeah, my birthday was July 5th. The party was crazy.
But you didn't know about it until
I knew a little bit about it, but my publicists and them, they had their
Tavia.
own little stuff. Tavia and them had their own little stuff they was doing behind the scenes. So again, I never really like throwing birthday parties because I'm always like scared of like how it's gonna turn out. Like you know what I mean? Like who is showing up? Like how is it gonna be? Like my birthday party was, the capacity for the place was like 400 people, tight spot. Like over 900 something people RSVP.
Sheesh.
It was a crazy line outside the door of people that couldn't get in.
Right.
Like that night really humbled me a lot to make me understand like how much people love me and and care about me.
That's what's up.
Yeah, no, people really
Yeah.
mess with you. And
Thank
how
you.
could they not? Because I've always felt like every time I've seen you, and I don't know what goes on with you behind the scenes, like you said. Like I learned a lot today.
Yeah.
But you've always been in such good spirits
you.
and been
I
such a
try.
great and kind
I try my
person.
best.
You've done a lot for me.
Thank you.
Personally, that I always appreciate. So if there's anything I can ever do for you,
That's how I look at stuff though. Like, I was raised by my great grandmother. I was raised on a lot of principle and moral. So I try my best, I'm not perfect, but I try my best to be a good person and stand on really what I say. Because today you up, tomorrow you down.
right?
And you don't know who you might need. That's how I live my life.
Well, all right. Well, thank you so much. And again, Michael Jackson, when is that song dropping? Since we just had a little snippet for y'all.
So Michael Jackson, we in what? July? Michael Jackson might drop in August.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good. Well, then you heard a little exclusive snippet here today, and listen, I'm looking forward to it. Keep me updated. You know,
In a
we're
real
always
life?
here to fully support you
I got you.
in a real life.
In our real life.
What's up?
Tina, Hood Celebrity, thank you so much. We appreciate you.